Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the backstory. If you're new here, kindly hit the subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Now, ladies and gentlemen, there's a report reaching us that a GSU police officer has lost his life. That GSU police officer is attached to the G company, which is the Reke company, which provides security to the president and other dignitaries in this country. Apparently, this happened at State House Gate, that is the Gate D of State House. Now, Gate D is the gate that is accessed by the public when you want to go to State House. That what we are getting is that this guy, who is 56 years old, pretended to be a chokora, that is a street urchin, and he was carrying a bag, a rucksack bag, and in that rucksack he had a spear, and it's that spear that he used to stab this GSU officer to death. So reports that we are getting is that this guy, who was pretending to be a chokora, went all the way to State House Gate D, then hid somewhere around some flower bed which is next to that gate, and he waited for some time. Then there were other officers who were in that gate who were clearing vehicles to get into State House, clearing other vehicles that were going on in and out of State House. Then all of a sudden, this guy emerged from that flower bed and stabbed this police officer on the chest. So immediately, these are the police officers or GSU officers who were with him or who were around that area. They were like around 3, managed to arrest him. They did not shoot him, and what we are getting is that they did not shoot him because they wanted to know the motive of that attack, because in such a situation you'd expect that he would be shot dead there and then. But what we are getting is that they managed to arrest him, and he's still in custody. But unfortunately, the police officers, or the Reke GSU officer, was taken to Kenyatta National Hospital, and he was pronounced dead upon reaching the hospital. Unfortunately, he lost his life, and we are sorry for that. But the question here is, why are there attacks on police officers? Because just the other day, like around a day ago or 2 days ago, there are also reports that another GSU officer was also attacked by another man around JKIA, that is the Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. So at JKIA, there are police officers or Reke company or GSU officers who also man that facility because it's a protected area. So apparently this other guy was also walking around JKIA, around that fence, and he was confronted by that GSU officer. But this guy managed to attack this officer and strangled him. So 2 questions come into mind. Why are there attacks on police officers? And how prepared are our police officers when it comes to such situations? How is their awareness, environmental awareness, in areas that they operate in? And how can they come to the rescue of other police officers when they are attacked? Because in such situation, I think police officers are deployed like around 2 or so in an area, so that if one is attacked, then another one can come to their rescue. So far, you find that we've lost 2 police officers that are attached to the Rec company, the G company. But the question is, how does it happen that easily? Is it deployment, how these officers are deployed? Because in situations like, take for example, the JKIA one, we would not expect to have like a single police officer being deployed in an area. At least there should be two, said that should there be an attack, then when one is attacked, then there is another officer who can at least come to the to his partner's rescue. Because if you look at even how our police officers walk on the streets of Nairobi, how they patrol, they are always two. But in protected areas, how are they deployed? And how easily is it for someone to access these protected areas? So this is something that we need to look at. And then out of all these investigations, what do our police officers get at the end of it? Do they get credible information that can help them to deter such attacks? And they also need to get to understand, because when this guy was asked, apparently from the reports that we are getting, he's saying that he was sent by Satan to attack this police officer, which does not hold water per se. So they need to get down to the intention of that attack, so that the senior officers can come up with a modality on how to deter such kind of attacks. Because if such an attack occurs in a protected area as State House, what of other facilities? How safe are these other facilities? And what worries Kenyans or people is that this attack happened at a time when the president was in State House. We are being told that the president was in State House at that time, and he was preparing to leave for a function. So I think he was informed about it, he was briefed about it. And had this person managed to get into State House, what would have happened? Are there not surveillance? Are there not CCTV cameras that can be used to surveil that area, surveil that area, and then the police officers who are manning the gates or that surrounding can be informed about any other intruder that is walking around State House or walking around these protected facilities? Because, you know, as a police officer, you cannot have your eyes everywhere. That is why now it calls for strict surveillance. That is where the CCTVs come in to help. The CCTVs can be used to now surveil that area, and then other police officers can now be called to come in and support. But look at it. All these are happening to presidential security officers. There was a time, sometimes back, when President William Ruto was attacked while he was in Kuria, Migori County. It raised a lot of uproar then. And at some point, the guy was arrested, and we got to understand that he was arrested and released. Some people disputed that. Even the mother was interviewed, and she said that his boy had not been released because police officers were still trying to understand why such attack happened. And after that, the president's security was beefed. In all this, we need to not take all these things for granted. Even the police officers who are out there, or the seniors who are doing deployment, need to come up with a plan for all these protected areas. Because for someone to walk all the way to such a sensitive area and carry out such an attack, it means there was a security lapse somewhere, and that needs to be upgraded going forward. So ladies and gentlemen, we'll keep monitoring what's going on, and we'll keep you guys updated on the happenings. And if we get to know what really was the motive of that attack, then we'll keep you guys updated. But keep it here and we'll keep you updated. But if you're new here, kindly hit that subscribe button and the notification bell down below so that you can be notified whenever we post a new video. Until next time, bye bye.